Think old Hollywood, Broadway, radio, Katharine Hepburn, Cary Grant, Orson Welles, Bette Davis, and my friend, Whitman Carlyle. Cheers, my good fellow. If this guy isn't the true embodiment of the transatlantic, mid-Atlantic accent, I don't know who is. Let's get into it. First rule of the transatlantic, mid-Atlantic accent. It wasn't regional. It was designed, taught, and performed. Why did Hollywood love it? It's timeless, theatrical, cinematic. The transatlantic accent did not disappear because it was bad. It disappeared because it was too polished for a post-war world. It sounded educated and elite. The standard American accent, if there even is such a thing anymore, is in the middle of the mouth. It's casual, relaxed. Transatlantic lives further up there. Open the throat. It's calm, poised. Let's compare them with this sentence. I'll meet you later at the theater. I'll meet you later at the theater. Notice, longer vowels, no rushed consonants. It's elegant, controlled, unrushed. The short A becomes a broad ah. This is one of the most recognizable features. For example, cat, dance, glass become cat, dance, glass. The glass cracked when I danced. The glass cracked when I danced. Long vowels are elegant, not nasal. There's no twang or squeeze. Time, home, day. Time, home, day. I'll take my time at home. I will take my time at home. There's no diphthong collapse with the transatlantic accent. My heavens, what is a diphthong? Great question. A diphthong is a vowel sound that moves or glides within the same syllable. Transatlantic holds the vowels clean and separated. All right, stick with me. I'm going to give you 3 words that exemplify this vowel sound shifting in one syllable. For instance, time, time. You got 2 sounds, i.e. I'm slightly exaggerating to prove a point. Time. It is more deliberate, more elegant, more theatrical. Go. 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 Day. 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 Beautiful. Notice how he held the vowels clean. He separated the sounds, and there wasn't that glide. No time. Time. Indeed. So time, go, and face become time. Go. Face. In summary, a diphthong is a vowel that glides. With the transatlantic accent, the vowel is held clean. Consonant rules. The R rule is critical. The transatlantic accent is a selective R accent. The R before a vowel stays. The R at the end of the word, get rid of it. Car, better, far away. Car, better, far away. The car is far away. The car is far away. Another very important one, the crisp T. When I say better, listen to how I just said it. It's better. It sounds like there's 2 D's there instead of T's. Keep it crisp with the transatlantic accent. It's better. The city is better today. The city is better today. You'll never catch Whitman dropping consonants at the end of words. He finishes his words, crisp and firm, whereas I'm more casual. I want to get out. I want to get out. Doesn't matter the consonant. For instance, in standard American English, we often 86 the G. I'm working on it. I am working on it. I love that. What's your secret, Whitman? My dear boy, I mean exactly what I say, and I say it quite clearly. Now let's talk rhythm and melody. When Whitman talks, notice there's a gentle rise and fall. It's calm, with confident pauses. You must understand, it is never rushed, never lazy. Are you ready to begin? Are you ready to begin? There's a typical pattern with the transatlantic accent. Full sentences, proper grammar, and polite formality. That it does. I suppose we should begin now. I suppose we should begin now. Here's an example of some words that Whitman's going to pronounce distinctly. Theater, theater. Idea, idea. Schedule, schedule. Leisure, leisure. Leisure time, leisure time. Here's some sentences. I'll meet you after performance. I'll meet you after the performance. The glass shattered during the dance. The glass shattered during the dance. It's rather important, isn't it? It's rather important, isn't it? It's such a beautiful accent. And although it's fallen out of favor today because people are demanding more realism, everyday accents, it's making a comeback. Watch certain animated films, period pieces, listen to voiceover or some character actors, and you'll find it. Better yet, watch classic movies with Cary Grant, Katharine Hepburn. The transatlantic accent infiltrated radio, theater, public figures. Think Edward R. Murrow, a broadcaster we all knew. Franklin D. Roosevelt, an American public figure. And Noel Coward, an influential stage writer. And there it is, the transatlantic accent, a beautiful blend of American clarity, British polish, and theatrical control. It is the accent of performance. Tall posture, calm breath, elegant vowels. Now go out there and speak with a classic Hollywood accent. If you want more accents, subscribe, drop a comment. Tell us which one you would like to hear next. I love you. As do I.